How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be giving you my first impressions of the BMW DLC that just dropped. I was very excited when I got a notification from Steam, and I absolutely had to log on and record some first impressions. So this is my first time launching it, so let's dive in and have a look at what we have. All right, so BMW DLC. Here oh my goodness, we have a BMW M1. We've got a 74 Turbo. Man, there's just so much to choose from. We've got an M4 GTS, very nice. I got a bit of a soft spot for the M3, so check out those wheels. Let's pop the hood and see what we have. Of course, we have the M-badged engine cover. Oh, look at that. That's a very considerate place to have the oil filter. Exciting. It's always fun with DLC. You get all sorts of new components to play with. No doubt this will be rear-wheel drive. Plenty of boot space. Hey, relocated battery. Look at that. Yep, that's a BMW. How much, Mr. Bond? Woof. That's 200K, but it's an M3. I gotta have it. I'm gonna buy it. Now, for comparison, I want to see if we could buy one of the default FMW cars. You know, the knockoff BMWs that the game shipped with. This looks close to a 3 Series. Let's have a look at this one. Ooh, let's go the performance pack. Oh, yeah. That actually still looks pretty cool. Although it's got those murdered out tail lights. That's not a very OEM look. Let's have a closer inspection. It looks good from a distance, but the second you get up and close with it, it's not quite right. Also, I don't quite recall there being supercharged BMWs that come stock this way. Although maybe this is supposed to be a modded version. Let's see what the original spec looks like for comparison. Okay, is this supercharged? No. Okay. This is a V-style engine rather than a straight 6, which is more common. Of course, you have the BMW V8, but in recent times, they're better known for their straight 6s. So I open this and straight away, it just doesn't look like a BMW to me. Let's have a look at some of the mods, see how they compare. BMW E36. Let's go with the CSL. Yeah, see, this looks pretty right. This is a very well done mod. Those engine components look pretty spot on. For the sake of comparison, I'm actually going to buy this one too, and we're going to throw them up on the lifts and have a look at the difference in the details between a mod and DLC direct from the developer. Okay, here we are. We've got both cars in the garage. So just a reminder, the white one is the official DLC and the blue one is a community mod, which you can get for free. Oh, look at the garnish on the side there. That's some very good detail. Although, wow, this is pretty dang close. We've got this indicator light here on the fender, which doesn't appear in the DLC car. The detail on these rims is pretty nice. Wow, I do like it in the darker shade though. Let's have a look at the suspension. Let's pull it apart. See if we can find some German over-engineered suspension bits. Okay, so this is looking pretty straightforward at the moment. We've just got our sway bar. We've got our lower control arm. It's actually quite simplified. Yeah, there isn't really a lot going on for this suspension here. Let's compare it with the mod car. Let's pull off the wheel. Obviously our tie rod, our knuckle, and our lower suspension arm. This is actually quite similar. So I actually don't know the suspensions of specific BMW models, but these do look pretty similar to each other. Let's check out the rear. Okay. We have a rear suspension arm with a upper arm, big cross member, and a lower arm. Okay, this is looking pretty typical of a rear-wheel drive vehicle. So nothing crazy new in the DLC. Let's see how the modder went about things here. This is more or less the same. Very similar sort of rear-wheel drive suspension here. Let's have a look at the gearboxes. So we have an i6 S54 gearbox. Yep, pretty well the same. Let's lower the cars. I want to see what's under this engine cover here. Straight 6 goodness. I love that. This is certainly a heck of a lot better than the FMW, which is a V configuration vehicle. And your typically large and elaborate looking sort of German intake. Oh, look at that. You got to take off the air intake hose first. That's cool. And oh, look at that. Is that individual throttle bodies? Is that what I'm looking at? Because that is really cool. I like that a lot. Unfortunately, I don't get all that much more technical, but everything I'm looking at here is very interesting and very bespoke. Let's throw it all back together. Okay, so between this particular mod and this DLC, it is actually quite similar. Actually, when you look at that front bumper, you could certainly see a bit more love in the details there. This is almost like a crossbeam going and linking the front two shock absorbers. Although, check that out. You could see the spring poking out. Okay, that's a little rough. Whereas everything's all closed up in here. Oh, check it out. The ECU's right up against the body there. That's really cool. For comparison, I actually really want to go back and pick up one of those FMWs. Now let's have a look at the suspension on this thing. Okay, again, it's much the same thing. The real difference is in the detail with the engine bay. The older generation BMW M3s were actually V8s, so this isn't entirely inaccurate. It's just that it looks really generic, like it's reused components from other cars in the game. I mean, I swear I've seen that engine configuration in so many cars in this game already. So in terms of variety, you're not going to get much sticking with the vanilla content. Let's hop in and see if it sounds any different to the other cars. The rev range just doesn't sound all that. The engine revs don't sound all that believable in here, and it sounds like when you've got something playing through tiny headphones way too loud. It's so distorted. Doesn't actually sound that great. Let's have a listen to the mod car. Okay, so hopping in the mod car. Let's have a listen. That sounds a lot more German than the vanilla vehicle. And for comparison, let's check out the brand new DLC. You could actually hear a different characteristic of the engine coming out in different parts of the rev range. It's much more colorful and unique throughout the rev range. Listen to it. Also, it's so interesting. It feels like such a journey climbing through all those revs. I gotta say, as far as sound goes, the DLC car wins it. So far, I'm thinking that the FMW is sort of the lamer of the three. Now, the other thing we haven't checked out is customization. So I'm just going to quickly have a look at what our options are. We have so many options on the mod car. That is crazy. I think the mod car wins it for customization. There is like no comparison. Let's check out the bodywork options for the original. It's all very vanilla. And when I say very, I mean just vanilla. Wow. You really don't get a lot to work with this. It's just replacements. That is so OEM. So as far as customization goes, hands down, it goes to the mod vehicle. We will, you know what, let's have a look at what the FMW offers, if anything, in the way of body tuning. Oh yeah, we've got some different aftermarket options. We can black it out. We could go for the IS250/IS300 type look. You know what, that's kind of sad. The new DLC doesn't give you as much customization as the knockoff FMW. That's unfortunate. So guys, here's how we're looking. Number one for mechanics and for internal components, the new DLC takes it by a narrow margin. The only reason that I would give it to that car as opposed to the mod car is that there's just subtle things like the springs poking out and things not quite being in the right place. This is just a boring rinse and repeat of everything we've already seen in the game, the vanilla FMW. So as far as engine sounds goes, we go first, second, third. There's just more care put into the sound capture that you get from this car. The mod car captures the general essence of a German saloon. The FMW just sounds like distorted nonsense. So there's one last category we're going to take a look at, and that is how these cars drive. We're going to take all three to the track, and I'm going to give you my impressions. First, we're going to start with the FMW, followed by the mod car, and then the M3 from the new DLC. So guys, we're not going to be trying to break any records today. I'm just going to be giving each of these cars a bit of a drive and giving you my impressions as to how they feel and how they handle and the sense of immersion you get driving the cars. So we are going to be using our Logitech G29 to drive these cars. If you want to know how I managed to get my racing wheel working with this game, I'm going to link my tutorial up here and you can have a go at setting it up and using your racing wheel with Car Mechanic Simulator. So to begin with, we're going to take out the FMW Panther Mark II. Okay, foot hard down. Oh, that's a very slow rev. Actually feels quite lethargic, although there is a supercharged version. Ooh, the steering feels quite sharp. The acceleration doesn't feel mind-blowing, but the car just does feel very, very controllable. It's very compliant and I don't know, it doesn't feel playful at all. It doesn't feel like it's about to break loose or anything like that. Mind you, if you hard tuned it or were using the supercharged version of it, might be a bit of a different story. Very easy to keep this thing pointed the direction you want it to go. Just not a lot of excitement or drama to it, but it does genuinely feel like it was designed to be a driver's car. Let's see how it handles Witch's Broom. Oh, fair bit of understeer there. Couldn't really count on putting my foot down to rotate the back end out. I do want to try it again with the traction control on. Okay, we're back in the FMW. This time I'm turning the assists off. I intentionally shifted down there to see if I could get the car sideways. It kicked out. It did not disappoint. It kicked straight out. It's a shame there's no clutch control on this. It's not all that much fun, if I'm honest. If I'm low in the revs and pinning it. I need to be in a hard turn to be able to get this to go sideways. All right, here we go. I'm going to see if I can get it sideways. Well, that was a little disappointing. Okay, we're heading to the racetrack again, and this time we're going to take the car mod, the M3. This is the community mod, and already this dashboard just looks so much better. Okay, let's put our foot down and see what this thing can do. This thing's a lot more rowdy. Whoa. Okay, our assists are all on at the moment, and immediately I feel like this car is so much more alive. It's very playful. I reckon if I turn the assists off on this car, we get sideways in a heartbeat. Whoa. This thing is lively. Okay, I can't wait. I'm turning the assists off now. The assists are off. This is definitely a lot more exciting to drive than the FMW. Oh, look at that. Oh. A bit of fishtail there. This thing is definitely a lot more fun to drive. Okay, hard on the brakes and then I'm going to shift down too many times. Oh, there we go. That's a spin. Yeah, this thing is just putting a smile on my face. Even with the exit speed there. Like, while I was exiting that corner, like the tail just kicked out. This thing is just so much more, has so much more personality and whoa! And it definitely still crashes if you suck at driving. Yes! Oh, that's so cool. Oh. I didn't even want to take the vanilla car through a full lap. With this thing, I just want to keep going round and round. But now we've got to check out the DLC car. Here we are in the DLC M3 BMW. Foot hard down. Let's see how this goes. Oh, the engine sounded so much better. Whoa. And surprisingly, this feels a bit more alive than the vanilla car does. This thing is a bit more leery. Feels like it's kind of got a mind of its own. I mean, look, it's controllable. Nothing was quite as drivable or as tame as that first car, but I don't know that that's what I want out of a BMW M car. Whoa! Nice! Okay. I had to do a tiny bit of opposite lock there in order to get the car pointing the right direction on that corner. So, whoa. Okay. And the back started to go because I had the throttle all the way down. I had the throttle all the way in. I could see that the assists are kicking in so much more with this car. So I'm going to disable the assists. Oh, there's just stability control, no traction control. Okay. Well, that makes sense because it was kicking out quite a bit before. I'm intentionally being kind of... Whoa, yes! Oh, I really got to practice. You know what? I reckon I could build this into a drift car. I do need to practice my opposite lock, but... That was fun. This is the first car that I actually want to... Yes! Yes! That was sick! Can't believe this is the first car I've ever actually been able to drift in this game. Although I probably haven't had as much of a go at it, but this is fantastic. This thing is a lot of fun. Okay, so guys, my first impressions of the DLC, buy it. It's a lot of fun driving this car. So if you were to stick with the vanilla FMW, there isn't a lot in it that the other cars aren't already doing. It sounds disappointing. The only positive thing I can really say about it is that it does drive in a way that's very compliant, very easy to control. Not very BMW M Sport-like, but it is a nice car to drive. However, nice is not what we're after. As far as the mod car goes, that car is definitely a step up. It's got a lot more sort of bespoke engine parts and a lot more detailing in the bodywork. It is absolute king of customization. There's so much you could do with that thing. In terms of sound and drivability, it's a lot more fun than the base game car is to drive, and it definitely sounds and feels more alive. But if drivability is the main thing you're after, then this is where the DLC car takes the cake. You saw how easily I was getting that thing sideways compared to all the other cars. It doesn't even have traction control on by default. It sounds amazing. It drives amazing. You can drift it. It's got very good attention to detail. The only thing that's very disappointing about it is the lack of customization. There isn't even any inbuilt body tuning. It's all just stock parts. On the basis of how much fun I had playing with the three of these cars, what's my recommendation? Look, if you're on a budget, you can have plenty of fun if you just download the community workshop. Don't stick to the FMW. It really doesn't have that much going for it. If you can buy the DLC, I do highly recommend it because it's a lot of fun. It doesn't break the immersion when you open the engine bay and you see that all the parts are lined up where they should be. If customization is the name of your game, mod car for sure. So guys, that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. This was a lot of fun to do. I'm glad I made time in my week to make this video. And yeah, I hope this helps you out. If you enjoyed my content, stay tuned. Check out some of my other videos. And as I always say, if you can't build your dream, you should still dream your build.